everyone to today's panel session on communicating value, overcoming misconceptions, and establishing trust, insights from diverse industries. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? We have our distinguished panelists here in the house today. Hey, we have Ajiri at the media paddy. We have Kafayat, notes and shades. We have Dayo, first time mamas in the house. And I can't wait to hear each and every one of these amazing people share their story with us and their journey in this panel session. So I'm going to give each and every one of us 1 minute to, introduce ourselves. Who are you? What do you do? So we are going to start with first time mamas, Dayo. So tell us a little about you, and then we'll go to Ajiri, and then we'll go to Kafaya. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, my fellow panelists. So my name is Dayo. In case you want to write that down, you can write it. So my name is Dayo. I'm a biomedical scientist. I'm a newborn expert. I'm a postnatal prenatal counselor, and I'm the founder of only me, and I'm the founder of First Time Mama. So what I do basically is that I thoroughly adequately equip pregnant women, to be able to navigate the fourth trimester with ease so that they don't see shaggy. Because once you're born like this, that's also shaggy is that fourth trimester is full of shaggy, suffering is so tough. But a lot of times it's because preggies do not actually prepare to conquer the fourth trimester. So that's what I do basically. I just hold them by the hands. I thoroughly and adequately equip them to be able to navigate the fourth trimester with ease without struggling for survival. So that's what I do. Basically.
Thank you very much.
So if you're pregnant, you're going pregnant soon. Gone me.
We're so happy to have you here. Ajiri, you're next. Good to have you.
All right. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just kindly confirm.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Yes, loud and clear.
All right. So, hi everyone. Hi everyone. It's a pleasure being here. My name is Ajiri Okoribe, and I'm the lead creator for the Media Paddy, PADI on Instagram. And what I basically do is it's a social media agency, and what I and my team basically do is we help brands communicate the value they have to offer to their target audience. We help them grow their online presence and also automate their marketing processes. Right? We do this by providing strategies and providing marketing strategies for them and ensuring that every business owner gets a chance, an opportunity to, progress in terms of their marketing. And we ensure that, anyone who comes on board with us has the fair chance of thriving online. And I think that is something that a lot of businesses need. So that is basically
what is our panelist today?
So that is basically what I do in a nutshell, right? So we do this via social media marketing, advertising, social SEO, and so on and so forth. But that's it.
Ajiri, this is not a nutshell.
No,
a very full shell. Good to have you here.
Right.
Good to have you here. So amazing. Kafayat, over to you. Kafayat, can you hear me?
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Akiola Kifaya. Yes. I am a data entry specialist, and I help small business owners with various bookkeeping services. I have courses for those who want to do bookkeeping themselves, and I also help business owners who are busy run their bookkeeping. And I also help business owners who are confused about their pricing. I help them fix prices that are profitable for their brand. Thank you.
That was the shortest, but yeah, very good to have you here. But everybody here is on fire. God, I beg you. Shame me, I will not go and review my bio. Welcome our distinguished panelists. So we are going to start the panel session. I will start with Ajiri, the media paddy, right? Our lady on red lipstick. That's our media paddy. All right, so Ajiri, as a digital marketing strategist, what do you find most frustrating when encountering clients who lack understanding of how to invest in marketing, or those who expect instant magical results?
Okay, so for me, I find that really frustrating. And if you are in the social media marketing space, you would know that this is a very problem that social media marketers face, or anyone who's helping other businesses, thrive online. For me, the approach I use is I use the education approach. Like every time clients come on board, the first thing I tell myself is I'm not going to assume that this person know the full scope of what they really want, or I will not assume that this person understand the nitty gritties, right? Hello, I will not assume that this person understand the nitty gritty is educate them, right? I educate them and tell them the timelines, right? I ask them, okay, based on what you want to achieve on social media, or online, this is the timeline it will take. I will ask them specific questions, and I just go ahead to educate them. And most times, when I educate this client, or when I educate these people, they are like, they never saw it that way. You now realize that a lot of people actually just lack education. So it's not really their fault that they want magical results. It is that the information out there by other creators, right? The information out there by other creators, they make it look as if, it's marketing online is a quick thing, right? Especially if a business owner following like an influencer, you see their numbers, you see comments, and you just want that for yourself, and then you think that, oh, this is how it is for every niche. So educating them is the way to go. That is how
Wow,
I deal with people like that.
that's really amazing. But how about like encountering people that have made up their mind? Like, see, this is what I want. All this one you are saying so is your own. It is possible. Don't tell me that it's not possible, right? So, do you
Well,
choose to decline those clients who don't align with your marketing philosophies?
definitely, I do decline. If I try as much as possible to give them a fair chance by educating, because then again, I'm a business person, and I should anticipate that people will have their own mindset, their own ideologies. Now, if I'm not able to do that, I do turn them down, because that would affect me as a brand, as a brand, or as a business owner. Because if I go ahead to promise false expectations, or if I go ahead with what and take on those tasks or take on those jobs, it's going to affect my brand. So I think that's something people need to learn. It's okay to say no to clients, because
Yeah,
some
it's okay
some
to say no.
some gigs are not. So trust me, some gigs are some gigs are not worth it, right? So it's okay to say no to some clients.
Wow,
You
thank
can't
you
help
very much.
everyone.
So, guys, it's okay to say no to clients. Please don't look at the money and go and kill yourself. Ah, thank you very much, Ajiri. We'll come back to you. But before that, I have
Thank you
let's go to
very much.
Kafayat. So, Kafayat, as a bookkeeping expert, the importance of your work in every business cannot be overemphasized. However, many people still hold the belief that bookkeeping primarily involves writing and documenting sales, overlooking its broader scope. So how do you ensure that people recognize the need for the comprehensive service you offer to their businesses, right? So what strategies do you employ to educate these people about the diverse benefits and value of effective bookkeeping?
Okay, thank you. The first thing I do is to educate them from my content, right? How to do bookkeeping right. Because I know so many business owners feel like they can do bookkeeping, but they don't know that they are doing it actually doing it the wrong way, right? So for my content, I try to break myths. I try to answer questions that people have asked me, just to bring in more clarity. Then I also try to, when people come to me in the DM, right, and they let me know how they do their bookkeeping before, or probably they want to ask me for their advice on how they can do their bookkeeping. I first off let them know, like from what they tell me, I know what they are doing wrong. I try to figure out what they are doing wrong, and then I prefer a solution. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I
Yes,
then
we
I
can hear
prefer
you.
a solution that I know that will be the right way for them, right? So for instance, a business owner who runs a retail store might come to say that she tells her sales girl to write their sales records, their expenses and the likes in a book. That kind of business owners will actually be losing a lot of money to the sales to the receptionist or to the sales rep. So there are a lot of things that business owners are doing wrong. I educate them for my content. I educate them when they come to me personally too. And I also try to break myths. Like some people believe that manual bookkeeping is better. They don't want to embrace technology tools, which will even make bookkeeping a lot more easier for them. But they still prefer to write it in a book. And then you have to calculate total sales for the day, total sales for the week, total sales for the month. Normally, as a small business owner, your head is hot already. You already have a lot of things that you are trying to, put in place. Now, trying to think of calculating total sales will be like extra work. So to make bookkeeping a lot easier, it's better they embrace technological tools. So that's it.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So basically, what you do is try to educate them and try to enlighten them with the benefits of this thing in their business, right? Instead of just educating like, oh, this is what you
Okay.
can do with this thing. You also try to open their eyes to see the possibilities. So I think that's a really good thing for a
Yeah.
niche that people has not really embraced like that. So if you're here and you feel like you are in a niche that people have not really embraced, I think that's a very good strategy to do. Try to educate people and try to see how you can show them what is possible with whatever thing you're doing. Thank you very much, Kafayat, for sharing that. So over to you, Mrs.
Yeah.
Dayo.
Let
So as the founder of First Time Mamas Hub, a platform focused on helping first time moms navigate motherhood, what motivated you to initiate this movement? And also, it's a two-in-one question. What motivated you to initiate this movement? Because I believe it's a movement. And then number two, how were you able to effectively communicate your vision and sell this idea to moms, gaining their trust in your brand and fostering a willingness for them to work with you? Because I believe it's also a sensitive thing. So how are you able to gain their trust? But what first of all motivated this movement?
Okay,
Thank you.
so thank you very much for that question. So I like to be truthful here. If I come here and say, oh, aspire to acquire, I'll just be lying. So there was no, I never saw myself doing this. Like I never saw myself doing this. But I can remember that there was a time in my life where I was just tired of life. I was just tired. And then I'm very spiritual, like I'm very close to God. And I told God, I spoke to him, I'm like, what's happening? Like, I mean, is this how we're going to be continuing this our friendship and our relationship? And then I can never forget. And he said that I'm calling you into the place of leading first time moms out of their cluelessness. That's why if you hear me say anything, you always hear me say cluelessness. And he said, I want you to help first time moms out of their cluelessness. And I was like, how am I even supposed to do that? Because me, personally, I saw shade when I gave birth. Because my focus is on the fourth trimester. And then when I gave birth, I saw shaggy. Like it was a lot for me. I went into severe postpartum depression and all of that. So I was asking God, I'm like, so how am I supposed to do this? And then we started that journey together. And he said, I want you to look back. So look back, look back, look back from the beginning, because there was time my first pregnancy, I had a miscarriage. So look back to the beginning, 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 beginning. And then start tracing it back, all the challenges you faced and how you were able to come out of it and all of that. And that is how you're going to start. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And this is me and the Holy Spirit communicating now because I don't have any, I never for myself, I'm not even a patient person. Like there's crying in my head. So I don't even feel myself doing this. And I'm like, okay, how do we start? And he said, you will start first with an Instagram page. I'm like, okay, so we started, and I started with 0 followers, nobody, and I just started. So every day when I put out content, I just look back. Okay, what happened the first time when I was pregnant? What happened? Oh, these were the challenges I faced. This was the solution, and this is how I came up with it. I just document it on my Instagram page. I document it, and I wasn't even familiar with Instagram, so I didn't know how it worked and all of that. So I just started learning gradually, 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 and that's how first time mama started. And because I was very clear, the whole thing, I want you to take them out of their cluelessness. So when I started, and then I started talking to moms, and then I realized it's as if I was talking to myself. Everything that I went through, they will come to me and say, "Oh, this I'm going through, this I'm going through." I'm like, okay, no. Like, is it this thing was happening to everyone? That's how it started. And then of course, you know how we do on social media, you comment on the pages where you have your target audience, and people started coming to my page, they say, oh, educative content, blah, 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 and that's how it started. So I'll be lying if I say this motivated me. It was God that called me to do this. I found it very boring at first. It's a lot of work. So that one aside. Now the second question said, how do I get
How
people
did
to
you
work with me,
build
right?
that trust? Where's that noise coming from? Sorry. How do you build that trust?
From my Okay, so what I do is that first of all, yeah, is already is established. I think it's from my end, and I'm so sorry because I have a toddler here. I had to give her, I had to prep her first. So yeah, so what I do is that, like, fourth trimester, my focus is fourth trimester, navigating the fourth trimester with ease. I don't really put my hand in pregnancy, labor, delivery, and all of that. My focus is fourth trimester. That is the time after you have welcomed your baby. So fourth trimester is a lot of shaking, it's a lot. So what do I do? How do I get people to trust me? I just bring evidence. I say, see, I bring evidence. I just show them, see what people are
Bring
going through, see what
receipts.
people are going through. Yes, I just bring it's everywhere online. It's as if nobody even talks about the good part of fourth trimester. Even people that are not pregnant, they are not moms. If there's anything you read about the fourth trimester, now so wahala problem. I just bring all the problem. I have plenty. I bring. I show. I said, do you want to be struggling with jaundice? Do you want to be struggling with cradle cow? Do you want to be struggling with postpartum depression? And then you don't know what to do. Do you want to be struggling with omugo? Is this what you want to? Is this what you have to? Is this what you want to go through after going through 9 months? After going through 9 months of stress, 9 months of labor and delivery, you don't want to rest. You don't want to stretch your leg across your leg. Like that's what I do. I don't. And then I also tell my story. I always tell. I think I suffered for a reason. Like, and I say, see what I went through. Jordan showed me shaky. I had issues. They had issues. And people like, oh really? Oh, that's what happened. And again, online, everybody's talking about the problem. Nobody's talking about the solution. So that's what gives me an edge. When I tell them that this is it, this is what happened, I tell that this is what you can do. I can help you achieve this. I can help you this. I can help you this. And that's how I get my trust. Some people will say, oh, I don't know, make this work. I say, no problem. I will not give you, I won't say, oh, I'm going to give you a discount or this. I just tell you, let us start this program. At the end of the day, if you feel that you have done everything I told you to do and you don't get results, come back, let us have a discussion, and then I will refund you. And that's what I always say. And
Wow.
I mean it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then they come
Wow.
back and they come back
That's
again with your money.
audacious.
So yeah. So that's it
Wow, that's
basically.
that's really amazing. Thank you very much for that story. So your story basically started from a conviction you got from God. But I believe that that conviction was bettered through your own experiences. Because if you had not really experienced it before, you may not be able to even know how to help people, right? So that's also to bring you to people who feel like, oh, I need to have a degree or I need to go and learn this thing before I can start helping people. You don't necessarily have to have a formal education before you can start helping people get results in specific things. It can come from an experience that you've had that you've been able to overcome. The goal there is have results, right? And then for her to be able to build trust, she started like how will I put hammering on those things that are the problems, hammering on the problems, and not just hammering on the problem. She started providing solution. It's one thing where you're telling somebody that, oh, if you remain inside this house for 5 days, you are going to, yeah, and there's no water. Let's say, for example, the house is locked. Okay, if you remain inside this house for 5 days, right, you're not going to see food to eat. You're just telling the person every day, you're not going to see food to eat if you remain inside this house for 5 days. See, if you keep it will become like noise to the person, and the person will just shut off. It's like the person will just shut you out of them. So every time you're just coming against it, they're coming to say, if you remain inside this house for 5 days, I will not see food to eat. But when you not tell them, if you remain inside this house for 5 days, I will not see food to eat. But this is what you can do in order for you to make sure that even while you remain inside this house, you'll be able to see food to eat. I'll be interested, like, me, I don't want to go outside though. Oh yeah, tell me. I want to know, instead of when you are just trying to hammer me and tell me my problem, but you're not telling me the solution. And that's how, like what Dayo has said, that's how she's been able to cut through all of those noises and differentiate herself. Thank you very much for that response. We'll come back to Ajiri. The network today is bad, but Holy Spirit, Jesus, help us. God will help us today. It's rained, so the network is really, 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 really something else. So, Ajiri, thank you very much, Dayo, for that wonderful feedback. So, Ajiri, the next question I have for you is: have you ever faced situations where client didn't achieve the outcome they expected due to impatience or maybe lack of willingness to see marketing strategies till the end, or due to other reasons? Have you, like, how did you manage such instances, and how do you maintain strong relationship with your clients?
All right, so this is such an important question. Thank you very much for asking, because a lot of times we creators, or a lot of creators out there, they talk about their success stories and nobody's talking about their failed projects as well. A failed project it depends on a lot of number of factors. It could be your fault or the client's fault. So I'm just going to start by sharing my own experience with a particular client, right? So this client came on board. Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, kindly confirm. I think the
We can
network is
hear you.
glitching
Can
a
hear you.
bit.
Go. If I cannot hear you, I'll let you know.
Okay,
I can hear you.
okay. All right, so these clients came on board and they wanted to reach a particular audience online. So we came on board with them, right, and we provided all the necessary strategies in place. But as time went on, the more we kept on working together, I realized that all of the strategies that we put in place to implement, they were not meeting up from their own end. And that's one thing I tell people when it comes to marketing, especially if you're a service provider. It's a two-way thing, you and the client. The client has to be ready to put in the work. You also need to put in the work as an expert. So when the client is not meeting up from their own end and they are holding up the whole marketing plan, the whole strategy plan, it can be an issue. It can definitely affect results. So what did I do? When I saw this particular brand, they dealt with delivering grocery foods directly to the houses of people. So what did I do? When I saw that they are not actually doing the end of it, I sent them a message. I told them that as much as I enjoy being paid, right, as much as I enjoy the fact that you do not see anything wrong with, for my own part, I don't think I can continue this service, right? Because the more you keep holding back on what you need to do, the more it's affecting my results. And do not forget that your client's results are automatically your results. I couldn't bear the fact that I came on board to achieve XYZ and it was going different direction. So I told them that I would humbly, I would only take the back seat until they are ready. And guess what? The fact that this client, note that these clients, they were not complaining, they were not having issues with me. It was me. I know what I came on board for. I saw that because of what they were doing, we're not achieving the results. After I took a step back, guess what? The respect they had for me went up, right? They after a 1 month period, we went back and put their house in order. They went back to put things together, and they came back and they said something, that they respect me for being able to be sincere with them, to tell them upfront that okay, this is it, this is failing, and I cannot be a part of this. So what am I saying? When you see that a tax or a project is not going on, don't think about money. Think about your reputation. Think about your brand perception. Think about the fact that the result that you are going to be getting is automatically yours, right? So don't be so money conscious that you forget that you are on board to deliver results. My clients' KPIs matter to me. That is what I always say. So that's it. If I see that the project is not going, I take a step back until everything is in place. Your question.
Muted. Amazing take. My client's KPI is also mine, right? I really love that. But there are some clients that are actually very difficult to work with. Like, you take a step back, you tell them this thing, they'll say,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm ready. And then you keep chasing them. It doesn't get to a point where you just let them go. Because honestly, for me, I've had several clients like that where I will chase and chase and chase, and it just looks like I am forcing you to come and get results. So I just let them go. For me, you know,
Yes,
have
yes,
you
yes.
experienced those kind of clients? What do you do? Do you keep chasing, or at the point you just have to let go?
Okay, I didn't get the question. Could you come again, please?
I'm saying that, what if it's in a situation where you've told the client that, oh, this is the problem, this is why we are not getting results. right? And they are still adamant. They did not make any changes or any efforts. What do you do?
So you let them go. Like I said, that's just it. You let them go because the truth is, when I get a client, because this reviews, right? This is the way I see it a lot. I see it like this: that if I'm able to achieve, do a good job for this client, I can boldly put the testimonial and say, "This is what I did for this client." Right? This is part of my this is part of my testimonial. This is a marketing material for me, right? So when I say that, oh, the client is being difficult, I just let them go because why? You are taking up space, you are taking my time, and the time I'm using to chase a client that does not want to put it to work, I can go and chase 10,000 clients that are ready to, that are willing to put it to work. So that's it. Let them go. Let them go. Right?
That will bring me to my third
So
question.
that's it.
Do you vet clients before you hire them? Because as clients are hiring you, you're also hiring clients. I think that's how it's supposed to be. So do you vet clients before you hire them?
Yes, yes. I think if I get you correctly, you said do I vet clients before? Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
when my client is coming on board, there's something called an onboarding session, right? I get to interact with them. I get to ask them specific questions. So during that onboarding session, they are the one doing they are the one mostly talking about their challenges and X, and then I come in and diagnose, like I like to see it as a situation where you are an expert and you are giving a diagnosis of the situation, right? So you tell them, okay, based on what you just shared, this is the challenge. So yes, I vet them during that period when they are talking. Just let them talk. The more they talk, the more I'm taking down notes, and I'm internally asking myself if this client is ideal for me. So
Yeah.
yes, if you want to take, in order to avoid surprises, I think you should have a system that your clients
Vet.
will go through
Yeah.
before bringing them into your space, right? It is very, very important. So you can do that either by onboarding them, or you can do that by telling them to go fill a form where you ask specific questions. Ensure you're asking the specific questions that will help you make a decision. So that is it.
Thank
You
you.
always go through the
Especially
system.
if you are doing, if the work you are doing requires you to work with client for a long period, 1 week, 2 weeks, you need to do that vetting. But if it's just something you can just do one of one day, you deliver 2 days, you don't necessarily just like maybe graphic design, for example. You don't necessarily have to vet client, just give them what they want. Like, well, if you are going to be working with them, like social media management, coaching, all of those things, guy, you need to vet the people that you work with, right? So thank you very much, Ajiri, for that. So Kafayat, have you ever had any situation where you worked for a client and they felt like they didn't get what they expected? How did you handle such? Oh, Kafayat is gone. So let's work with Dayo. Let me ask Dayo our next question. Why Kafayat is trying to join back, right? So Dayo, okay, I think Kafayat is back. Kafayat, welcome back. So the question I asked before was, can you hear me?
Thank you.
So I asked that,
Yes, I can.
have you have you had any situation where you worked for a client and they felt like they didn't get what they expected? How did you handle such situation? So more like after doing, I say, so this is what I paid for. So this is how the bookkeeping thing that you're talking about. This thing that you just did now. And they don't feel satisfied, like, oh, so these are all the things you've been saying since just this thing. So how do you handle such situation? Have you ever had such clients as well?
Actually, I've never had such clients because nobody will think bookkeeping is simple. Yeah, if it's easy, say from now. So
All
bookkeeping
right,
is
all
not
right.
easy. It's not easy. It deals with a lot of calculations, and when I'm doing it, sef, my head is hot. So, and there's always a lot of back and forth when I'm doing bookkeeping for a client. So they know it's not easy.
All right, so we're going to go to Dayo. So Dayo, have you encountered any resistance from moms who initially felt insecure about seeking support and guidance? How did you address this concern, and what changes have occurred since then?
Well, I I most times I don't get resistance. Once I've taken that enlightenment and education out of the way, what I now get moms who are now willing to put in the work. So most times I don't get resistance. The only time I get, sometimes they say, "Oh, will I get results?" I'm like, if you are you ready to put in the work, if you're ready to implement, if you implement everything I'm going to teach you and then you don't get results, come back, let's talk about it and I'll refund you. So most times because I've taken the education and enlightenment out of the way, most times I don't get resistance. Very, very, very rarely. Very rarely.
Oh wow, wow, wow. That's really good. Thank you very much for that. I believe that why this resistance is not coming is because you've done the hard work of trying to make sure that you educate your audience really well, right? And then they don't get to have
Yes,
this
yes, yes.
resistance. Kafayat, we can't
And
see
and
you
and,
on
and
the
again, it's show for me. Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah, thank you very much for that feedback. So before we wrap up the panel, so this panel session has been very insightful and interesting, by the way. So Ajiri, do you have any final words you'd like to tell those that are watching, service providers, people who are into digital marketing, all of these amazing people watching this session today?
Yes, so I would tell them what I would want to tell myself when I was starting out. And I would say, stop looking at what is happening around you. Stop stalking your competitors, quote and unquote. Stop making other people's results, stop you from putting yourself out there. Don't be so overwhelmed about other people's results, right? So you just start out and be consistent. And I really do believe that consistency is key, right? And try to define what success means to you, right? Always try to define what success means to you, because I see a lot of service providers, they are just comparing, and these are people that are equally doing good in their own space based on where they are, right? So I really think that defining what success means to you would, help you go a long way, and then know what you want to achieve, right? Know what you want to achieve with your business. I think that would be it, right? Do not compare. Know what success means to you, and know your goals. Stay consistent. That would be my final words. Thank you so much, Eloha.
Amazing. Thank you very much for that. Thank you so much for that, Jiri. So it's good to look at people to say, oh, this is what this person is doing, no. But now
Yeah,
comparing
yeah,
yourself to those people should not be something that you should be big on. Because when you start comparing, like imagine you comparing yourself to me, you don't know the sacrifices I've had to make to be doing what I'm doing today, or you don't know
yeah,
the sacrifice I have to make to be here that I am right now, right? You don't know the sacrifice Ajiri has had to make. You do not know, or if you compare the years, you don't know how many years I've been doing this. They say everybody has 24 hours in a day. Some people now, there's a new ideology that says everybody does not have 24 hours in a day, because some people could afford the luxury of paying people to do most of the things for them, and they just do less things, and they now kind of have more time in the 24 hours. So now you imagine comparing yourself to someone who has the luxury to pay people to do stuff for them, to you who have to do everything yourself within that same 24 hours. It's not fair on yourself. So don't do that to yourself, right? Don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to start comparing yourself with people, right? So just focus on your journey, be consistent with it, and learn. And you're already in the Grow Conference. That's one step to learning, and then implementation is the next thing. Thank you very much for that last words, final words, or sent forth words for the session, Ajiri. Kafayat, so what final words would you like to tell people, business owners, when it comes to their bookkeeping, and also as well as when it comes to running their businesses?
Okay, first off, I would like to urge business owners to please take your bookkeeping seriously. They say the numbers speak to you. When you do your bookkeeping, you're going to be opened to a lot of things that you don't know before. Let me quickly cite an example. I did bookkeeping for a client around last year. She makes millions in sales, but at the end of the month, when we did the profit or loss statement, she was making like just briefly over 100,000 naira in profit. So they say the
Wow.
number speaks to you. When you put in effort to do this book picking, you know what's happening in your business, right? You would think you're making a lot
Wow.
of money, but my dear, you might not be making anything. And then it will be very hard for you to grow and scale the business. And again, the second thing is, please, small business owners should not think they can do bookkeeping themselves. They should try to learn how to do it the right way. There are so many mistakes that you might be making. And one common mistake is you jam packing sales for like 2 to 3 months into 1 month. This happens to service based businesses where your clients pay you for 3 months to together. So those kind of revenue is supposed to be divided into monthly revenue and not put it together into. So there are so many mistakes like that out there. So just those two things, please, and take your bookkeeping serious and learn to do it the right way. Don't think you can do it on your own. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate that, Kafara. Thank you so much. But that story of somebody making millions and after they did their bookkeeping, they realized that they're making just a little over hundreds in profits is really shocking, because how will you be making millions and just making a little over 100K in profits? That's loss. But thank God that they've realized that and be able to at least, so bookkeeping help
Yeah.
you identify those loopholes really fast and easily, makes them really clear. And that is why everybody needs to do bookkeeping. It doesn't matter the kind of business you are
Yeah.
running. All right. I need to learn about bookkeeping, learn how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, ask for help. And Kafayat is one person that can help you do that. Thank you very much for that feedback, Kafayat. So Dayo, what final note do you have for business owners, even for moms, people who are expecting moms? There are also moms here as well, but also for businesses, what advice do you have for these two people before we wrap up this session?
Okay. First of all, for business owners, I would say that whatever it is that you choose to do, please be damn good at it. What Just make sure that you are putting excellence at the forefront. All the way since we started this, conference, a lot of people have been saying in comment section, oh, they find marketing hard and everything. See, if you are putting out great, if you know that what it is that you're selling to people is excellent, like you have done your own job, it will be very easy for you to sell. So just make sure that you are damn good. Whatever it is you say you want to do, just ensure that you're damn good at it. That way you find it very easy to sell to people. You find it very easy to be able to communicate what it is that you want to offer people. Days that I don't sell, I feel bad because I feel that I've ripped people off. I feel that, oh, there's this great thing I want to give to you, and then I couldn't really come to market it. So just make sure that whatever it is you are doing, make sure that you are excellent at it. And I also want to say that as business owners, whatever it is that you want to do, just ask yourself, okay, what is it that I want to achieve? For example, if you're a fashion designer, I say, okay, I just want to ensure that I I create clean, crisp, beautiful designs. Yeah. Make sure that whenever you're marketing, make sure that that is what you're saying every time. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Just make sure that you're saying it in different ways. You're saying it creatively, but in different ways. So, and make sure that whenever your client comes, make sure that that is what you deliver. Clean, crisp, beautiful designs. Whether you're a service provider or you're a product-based business, if you're able to run your business like that, you find it very easy to be able to run your business successfully. So sit down and tell yourself, what is it I want to do? This is it. Then get your message. Okay, this is what I want to achieve. Me, I want to achieve that new moms do not see shaggy when they give birth. And everything that I am doing in this life is to ensure that after they've given birth, they don't stop postpartum depression, they don't see shaggy and all of that. And that is what I say every day. 1 billion times if I'm marketing my business, that is what I'm saying. I just say it in different ways. And that is where your own work comes in. You now have to know how to tell stories to be able to communicate that value, and all of that. So you're saying the same thing over and over and over again in different creative way. Business owners get tired of repetition. That is how you become successful. So that when somebody wants to come, when somebody is thinking, oh, who can give me a clean, crisp, beautiful design? The only person they are thinking about will be you, because you have said it over and over and over and over again. And then the advice for moms, don't make that mistake. That's it. Don't make mistake of starting that new mom phase without adequately preparing yourself for that phase. It's like seeing a trap and tell yourself, okay, I've seen this trap, I like it, I walk into it, because you must see shady. Nobody was born with knowing how to take care of newborn, knowing how to take care of yourself after you have given birth. It's something that you learn. It's a skill that you learn. So make sure that you learn that skill before your baby comes. So now that you're pregnant, don't just stretch leg and just be waiting and just be expect that, oh, let baby just come. Ensure that you are learning everything to have a non-traumatic delivery. You are learning everything about newborn care and everything. Just ensure that you prepare
Wow.
yourself before your baby comes. So that's it
Wow, thank you
basically.
so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful advice, Dayo, Ajiri, and Kafaya. I appreciate you guys. You can find Dayo on Instagram. I put it in the chat as first time mamas. Ajiri is the media paddy, and Kafaya is notes and sheets. You can find them on Instagram. Also, if you're watching this, their Instagram handle will be in the comment section of the YouTube replay. So you can click on it and connect with them as well. Thank you so much for being on this panel session. This has been really
Thank you so
insightful. It
much.
has been fun.
Thank you.
I've learned a lot as well.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you. I
Me.
love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. See you guys
Yeah, thank you.
tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.